Hello, hello. I'm here to talk about being a sleazy salesman. Do you feel like a sleazy salesman? As I fix my hair. Okay, we're gonna have a little real deal talk, guys. Real deal talk for all y'all. Real deal talk. Heads up. I got a message just a couple of days ago from somebody who follows me, but like really shouldn't be following me. And she messaged me and she said, I just want to tell you, I follow you, but I think that you're all about showing off and making money or something like that. I don't remember what it was. But I want to tell you guys, valuable lesson on this. If you guys give shits about people who you're not trying to sell to, you're going to run yourself emotionally dry. So before we get into this training, before I talk about this topic of how to avoid being a sleazy salesman, I'm going to tell you that you're never going to be everybody's cup of tea. And if you're trying to be, you're also going to be broke. So being everybody's cup of tea is going to make you broke. So don't do it. And it's also emotionally exhausting. You're going to get messages from people who don't see things the way you do. You're going to get messages from people who don't agree with you. I actually don't get them a lot. For as polarizing as I am to some people, I don't get a lot of negative messages. But I got this one from this lady a couple weeks ago. She said she doesn't like that I'm all about showing off and making money, and she's not about that. And I said, feel free to unfollow me. It's totally cool. And that's not what I'm about, guys. So if you guys don't know me, if you just started following me, my name is Lauren Eliz. I'm the founder of whatisperfection.com and the Badass Business Babes. And I'm teaching people, women specifically, how to feel empowered and generate that income and sales revenue that they're really longing for without feeling sleazy, salesy, or shitty about their getting a call in the middle of this training. You guys can all hear and see me, right? That was a little hiccup there, getting a little call. Hope that didn't screw things up. So, okay, so let's talk about this as I have my, Chris Britton calls this my firstborn, because that's what Ryan calls hers. So thank you. Okay, so let's see. Cool, I'm good, guys. Thanks. Let's jump into this training. I have about just a little bit before a coaching call. So I just want you guys to know that during the time that I talk about this, I'm going to teach you guys how to go through some training stuff with sales so that you don't feel sleazy, you don't feel icky, you don't feel pushy, and you don't feel exhausted. So I want you guys, while I'm talking this through with you, tell me like what your biggest problem is. Like what's the word that you feel about sales, or what's the word that you feel about money? Like give me the word. What is the word you feel about selling? I want to make sure that I do everything on this call to help you guys. That one word that just, what does it mean to you? So when I started my coaching journey and I was trying to generate revenue and I was feeling stuck and broke and I was really struggling, I hated sales. I hated it so much. It was like the worst thing I could ever do. I hated trying to convince people to buy shit from me, right? Icky. This is the word we use. Icky. Yuck. Yuck. Right. That's how I felt about sales for quite a while. And I needed to do a lot of work around my relationship with it. I kind of refer this when I think back to everything I learned about sales. I learned it when I was a kid, and I learned it when I saw my parents saying, don't open the door, when somebody was knocking to try to sell something. And I saw my parents roll their eyes and get annoyed every time a telemarketer called. You are not a door-to-door salesman, and you are not a telemarketer. So you have to leave that bullshit at the door. If you're going to be able to generate revenue in your business, your beautiful business, you should be able to leave the icky sales feelings at the door. And that's a whole nother conversation. We can talk about, you know, removing the limiting beliefs and getting rid of your feelings about sales. But here's what I'm going to tell you. 99% of what's standing in your way when it comes to selling your product or your service is you. It's not that like, oh, I just can't find the right client, or oh, I just can't attract the right type of person. This is really bullshit. This is an excuse because you're either doing it wrong and you don't know how to do it, or you're feeling negative about it and you don't know how to fix it. So let's talk. What did I title this video? How to not feel like a Nikki Salesman 101. Okay, so here's the first thing I want to tell you is that you're in the process of enrolling people or getting people to work for you, work with you. It's not about the money. It's not about the money. I want you, this is something I do on before every single one of my calls. I drop from my head and I get into my heart and I say, I just don't want to feel salesy. Let me show up to serve this person. Let me show up to help this person. And I literally, you guys make the biggest mistake of getting on these calls and trying to convince people that you're worth it. I don't do that. I get on my sales calls and I let people be heard. I listen to them and listen to what their pains are and what they're struggling with, and I give them the opportunity to talk. That is one of the biggest mistakes I see people making in their online business, is that when they finally get somebody to talk to them or they work with them, they're talking and telling their client how amazing their product is and how amazing their service is, and that's actually the opposite of what you should be doing. You're talking too much. You're not giving this person an opportunity to have their voice heard. And if they don't feel like their voice is being heard, they're not going to want to work with you. So that's the first thing. The second thing I'm going to say, and I love all y'all Beachbody coaches out there. I love all of you network marketers. But I have to tell you that if you are showing up and cold messaging people, I'm going to jump through this video and strangle you. You should never be cold messaging people. I got this message once from somebody who copy and pasted and sent it to me, and it was like, hey, so love your posts and love all the stuff you're doing in the world. By the way, moms out there, we need to stick together, and if you ever need help running your business or doing X, Y, and Z or getting healthy, join my nutrition program. And it was all about moms, right? She was talking to me like I was a freaking mom. I'm not a mom. I don't have children. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm saying this woman clearly copy and pasted and sent a bunch of shit to me. And she probably did that to 40 million people. I heard this quote from Shanda Sumter in this video I was watching. What was it? It was a beautiful quote. Connection is currency. Connection is currency. So do you think a copy and paste message is really connection? No. It's not. A copy and paste message is not forming a connection with somebody. It's not getting to know them, and it's not listening to what their problems are. So here's what I do. I do two things when it comes to sales. And I'm talking about attracting clients, guys. This is the first part of this. Learning how to attract clients, I do two things. I hold space for people believing that they're going to message and reach out to me. They're going to come to me. They're going to come to me, because really, what's the point of business if you have to keep hustling to find clients all the time? It's exhausting. You should never be in that position. That's a miserable life. That's working hourly. You never want to work hour to hour. Like, okay, for every hour I sit at the computer, I'm going to reach out to 40 million people and hope that I get X amount of clients. You never want to run yourself dry like that. So I hold space, which is emotionally believing with every fiber of my soul that I'm going to be attracting clients. And believe me, this works. This so works. Every month I sit down and I ask myself, what am I stretching into? Who am I trying to attract? What numbers am I trying to grow? And I imagine those people coming to me, X amount of people, and every month I hit that number. So I want you to hold space for receiving more people. That's the first part, and how to not be a Nikki salesperson. And the second part is I intuitively let people come to me. So what that means is I post or share something that's vulnerable on my Facebook, or I engage in a topic of conversation like I am right now, guys, talking about sales. This is an important topic. And after this video, I'm going to feel inspired to reach out to one or two of you. And I'm going to say, hey, if you ever need any help, let me know. Or I see you're really, engaging in my stuff. If you ever want to talk, I don't sell people. I'm not like, hey, by the way, check out my program. Or hey, by the way, you should enroll in this. Copy and pasting those messages to every one of you guys who are listening, that would be the stupidest thing ever. It doesn't feel good for me to copy and paste a bunch of messages. So I don't do it. The thing that I see people making a big mistake on when they join network marketing companies is that they spend months and months and months trying to replicate a system that somebody else is teaching them, that somebody else did. And if it doesn't feel good to you, it's not going to create revenue. If it doesn't feel good to you, no matter how closely you're following the system, it's going to fail you. So you have to ask yourself what feels good. For me, sharing things that I've been through feels really good. Jumping on a live video to teach you guys feels really good. Jumping on guest speaking engagements for Beachbody coaches or network marketing coaches and helping other people learn how to teach them how to do what I do feels really good. So that's what I do every day. So you have to be clear. In the beginning of business, I made a list of all the things I hated doing, and I promised myself I would never do them. If you do not like something that you're doing to generate sales, it's not going to create money, so don't do it. Simple as that. So those are the two things I pay attention to. holding space, and then trusting that the universe is going to put somebody in contact with me while I'm offering value that's going to need my stuff, that's going to want to work with me. This is what created my multiple six-figure business, and you guys can all do this. I'm not special. The second thing I did, guys, and I want to just be really clear about this, was that I learned how to become an expert enroller. My coach told this to me a while ago. I'm going to share it with you. They've done studies about people who have made $1 million incomes, and they asked them, what's the number one skill set that you acquired in order to create your beautiful business? And they said it was enrolling. If they were nutritionists, it wasn't becoming an expert even more so in nutrition, because they were already that. If they were fitness instructors, it wasn't training to learn the newest type of fitness activity. It was becoming an expert in the art of enrolling. The art of enrolling. So you guys have to study this. If you don't know how to enroll people in your business, you need to learn how. I'm going to tell you right now, go on badassbusinessbabes.com. I teach a really simple course on this, and it walks you through how to actually enroll somebody in your business. You guys are probably showing up on your sales calls the wrong way. The other thing I think people make a really big mistake on when it comes to attracting people into their business, something that felt really sleazy to me, was like laying down all the details of what you offer in a Facebook message. If you're offering something of value, you need to deliver it like it's valuable. And quickly messaging somebody the details of what you get when they work with you or what you have to offer is such a waste. We have this really big fear of the telephone because now we're all on social media, but people need to feel and see your energy. People need to understand what you're about, and they need to realize that they're safe working with you, and they're not going to feel that way when they get some random message that's like, hey, by the way, here are all the details. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. There are people out there, when you sell to them, who can really trust you, and they're like, oh, that sounds great, I'm going to enroll, send me the link, and they do it. I'm not saying those people are not out there, they're out there, but I'm going to tell you that you cannot run a six-figure business on just that strategy. You know how they say you need to have multiple revenue streams? You also have to have multiple strategies of bringing people in to create revenue. And most of you guys go out there and try just one strategy hoping that it works, and it never really works. And even more so, you're trying somebody else's strategy, trying to figure out why it doesn't work for you. So you need to make this clear, I'm going to make this clear to you guys, that yes, some of the clients that you attract will just naturally flow to you without you having to work hard, without you having to get on a call, without you having to like spend time with them working one-on-one. They'll pick up the link on your website or your blog, or they'll just jump into it, or they'll get the link from your MailChimp automated message and they'll enroll, but that's only a very small percentage of the people who I work with come from that way. The other way they come is when I show up to offer value, and I show up to share services, and I show up to help them, and I also connect with them on a deeper level. This is Facebook media, Facebook social media, this is very superficial. So while it is a great way to actually start the communication train, it's not a great way to close a sale. I don't close sales on Facebook. I don't find that this works for me. I feel like I really want to get on the call with somebody, I really want to listen to what they have to say, and I really want to make sure they're a good fit for me. Now, I said this before and I'll say it again. When you have a hard time actually selling to your client and like looping them in, it's either one of three things. Either you're not selling the value of your product, the person you're selling to doesn't believe in themselves, right? You're not selling the value of the product, the person you're selling to doesn't believe in what you have to offer, or the third thing is deep down you really don't want this person as a client. And the deep down, do I really want this person as a client? You'll notice that feeling when you're on the call. You'll feel disconnected. You feel like, this isn't really a good fit. Here's what I'm going to tell you. That issue, is this really a good fit? Is this really the type of client I want? That issue comes down to two other issues, which is, do you believe in yourself and what you have to offer? Do you? Or is this person just not somebody you want? So really pay attention to that. Being a sleazy salesman is all about doing everything that everybody else is doing, hoping it'll work to give you money. That's what being a sleazy salesman is. Being an authentic coach and leader and businesswoman or man, being an authentic version of that, is about trusting your intuition and letting your intuition lead to sales. It's also about walking the walk. So this is the last component I want to share with you guys on this training. So before I generated any substantial revenue in my business, I didn't have a coach, and I was trying to get people to coach to work with me. It felt really inauthentic. I was trying to tell people, oh, believe in this system, believe that it works, believe in accountability, and believe that, you know, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know. But I didn't believe in it because I wasn't doing it. And when I hear life coaches out there, life or business coaches or whatever you guys are doing, if you don't have a coach, you're going to be failing yourself. You're going to be failing your bank account. You're going to be failing your business. You're going to be failing your life. Just kidding. Maybe not your whole life. But I mean, you guys get what I'm saying, right? Like, you need to, whatever you're repping, you need to be authentic, and you need to be transparent, and you need to be able to walk the walk. So whatever you're doing, you got to convince people to buy it by you doing it. Okay? So if you're trying to become a life coach out there, for all y'all life coaches, give me a like or a heart if you're on this line. If you're a life coach out there and you do not have a coach, go get one. Go get one. If you're trying to grow your business and you don't know how to sell, go learn how to sell. These are two big issues that are going to stand in your way of creating financial abundance. Okay? So I'm going to tell you guys two things. First thing is, it is the beginning of August. So if you did not set business goals yet for your vision and for your dream of what you're trying to create, I want you to go on badassbusinessbabe.com. I make a joke, this is for business babes or business bros, so feel fine and just do it, okay? Badassbusinessbabe.com. You're going to get a free goal setting strategy, a short video about the importance of setting strategic goals and why this is so vital to your business. And you're going to get some other free shit too. So pay attention, go enroll, go jump on badassbusinessbabe.com and go kick some ass, okay? And if you want to learn more about enrolling, there's also Badass Sales Calls on that page. That walks you through the process of how to have a really successful, non-sleazy sales strategy. So make sure you check that out too. It's right on the homepage in the menu bar, Badass Sales Calls. But badassbusinessbabe.com is going to take you where you need to go. Okay, guys? Enjoy your Friday.